Imagine a game that comes from the 3D platformer genre that rivals the likes of Super Mario 64. Imagine a licensed game that rivals the likes of Batman Arkham City, a game that would eventually become a cult classic amongst many fans, including myself, as well as to be one of the most underrated games of all time. Yes, it's SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom for the Nintendo GameCube.
I watch cartoons now. Fuck television. Fuck all that Family Guy. I'm watching SpongeBob. That's the shit. Yeah. Motherfucker lives in a pineapple.
It's true.
Under the sea.
I'm probably the biggest SpongeBob fan I know, I can't lie, so it's going to be a blast to talk about this title. Nickelodeon was my third home pretty much behind Cartoon Network and Jetix when watching cartoons and anime on television, and SpongeBob was the most watched show on the network for me particularly. I absolutely loved the humour and innocent charm it had, and now as I'm older, I love it even more. It was a series written so well and tight for both kids and adults, and to this day I still laugh out loud when rewatching some of the older seasons. Like, it's because of this bloody show I wanted to work at a restaurant, and when I had the opportunity to work as a waiter, I had one shift, then I left. It was hell. It wasn't fun. I like to think I'm somewhat of a super fan / fanatic when it comes to SpongeBob, so I do apologise if any references fly over your head for the duration of this review.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Now, I played this game during a time where I was constantly moving around schools a lot, and I absolutely despised my school life. It was long and depressing. Video games, especially in this time, were my main source of escapism, especially in this period, so I really want to thank Steven Hillenberg, the entire crew, the entire game development team for this experience, because boy, it was a long year, I can't lie. This game is not just an amazing piece of excellent fan service, but a well thought out and structured platformer / collectathon. Again, just as Nintendo does best, it was the perfect escape. So let's dive into it. Are you ready, kids? Developed by Heavy Iron Studios, famously or infamously known, take it how you will, for making other license-based video games from The Incredibles, Scooby-Doo, Ratatouille, and UFC Trainer for some random reason. Regardless, some of these titles I find very fun and hold up well to this day. But collectively, I like to think their magnum opus has to be their unofficial SpongeBob trilogy, from the movie game and Truth or Square, with their first flagship title, Battle for Bikini Bottom, kicking off their relay race. In our habited city under the sea, the mad evil genius and owner of the chum bucket, Plankton, has created a robot machine with a scheme to once again take over the Krusty Krab and steal the Krabby Patty formula. However, he forgets to set the obedience switch to obey, and now the robots have taken over and running havoc across the city. Meanwhile, at the same time, SpongeBob and Patrick are playing with toys, believing that they wish the robots come to life.
It's my magic wishing shell. Put the toy robots in here.
Okay.
Then we say the magic wishing words and shake the magic wishing shell.
Okay.
Then we go to sleep. And in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with!
Harry, it sure looks like we're in a doozy of a pickle. I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot in order to fix this mess.
So it's up to them, as well as Sandy Cheeks as well. Our karate kicking, Texas sauce dripping, stone cold Steve Austin kicking.
Give me a hell yeah!
Squirrel to stop the chaos and get back into the chum bucket. It's nothing flashy in narrative, but as a 3D children's platformer collectathon, it's believable enough. So starting off in your pineapple, learning your typical moveset which you get in most platformers: run, jump, ground pound, head bash, double jump, and so on. Traversing your way through Bikini Bottom with all its monuments, locations, and landmarks. And when I say locations, I legit mean all the locations. This is like the Simpsons hit and run level of care when it comes to a show's callbacks and references. We venture across recurring places from Jellyfish Fields, Goo Lagoon, downtown Bikini Bottom, the street SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squid live on, Shady Shaw's retirement home, the Mermalair, Sandy's Tree Dome, the police station, Sand Mountain, Rock Bottom, Kelp Forest, the Dutchman's Graveyard. I'm running out of breath here. The only place I think that didn't make the cut was Glove World, but even with that came out after the first movie, therefore after this game, so yeah, I digress. As a collectathon, similar to the likes of your Mario or Banjo, you're tasked to collect shiny objects. Yes, they're called shiny objects, the main collecty thing to obtain in the game. They're legit everywhere and easy to obtain. You'll find some in the most random places you wouldn't think the games dev would think, but they are definitely rewarding when exploring every nook and cranny in the world. These shiny objects will help unlock hidden areas and pathways in need for you to continue the story. The main items of obtaining is the golden spatula, power stars basically. Collect enough of those to unlock the next section of the hub world, rinse and repeat, with your main objective to collect enough golden spatulas to get back into the chum bucket and fight the final boss. Usually when traversing the stage, you have characters from the show to tell you what the next objective is, ranging from all of the cast of Bikini Bottom's residency. Another unique item is Patrick's lost socks. Collect 10 socks and return back to Patrick and trade for a golden spatula. Similar to the way blue coins work if you ever played Mario Sunshine.
Okay then, for every 10 socks you bring back to me, I'll give you a golden turkey baster.
You mean spatula?
Bless you.
And that's pretty much the premise. You're smashing tikis, jumping and swinging from platform to platform, breaking robots and solving puzzles. For character variety, the game has you switch between SpongeBob, Patrick and Sandy. SpongeBob gets most controller time with dedicated ground stomp, bubble bowl and guided missile. It's very similar to the way Arkham City is. They pretty much copied it. Patrick is the tank and can lift items to flip switches and catapult himself. Though ironically, even though he is the dumbest character in the show, his tasks are definitely the most puzzle based and make you think the most. And Sandy can have you swing across larger areas and chasms using Texas icons for some reason like Spider-Man and glide across major areas. You have to switch between them using bus stop posts around the area to keep pushing through the level. Although there's no significant playstyle between them, their mannerisms and dialogue switch up and change, keeping the experience fresh. The accessibility and sense of freedom that you get is what I think the core reason why this game stands the test of time. The taxi/fast travel system comes in clutch, and I'm baffled how we don't get this with most games in general, especially from modern day 3D platformers. It's so convenient and saves you so much time. The level design is amazing and really feels developed and lived in. Like Jellyfish Fields alone on paper you may think is just a field you're traversing, but no, you go through caverns, caves, climbing up rocky terrains and waterfalls. Goo Lagoon starts you off at the beachfront to a giant sandcastle to sea caves and then coming into a boardwalk funfair. It legit feels like a hand-on adventure with Bikini Bottom for the player. You have other great set pieces from bungee jumping from downtown Bikini Bottom Sky Needle, swinging around rooftops of Sandy and even snowboarding down the plethora of different hills in Sand Mountain. It's colourful, chaotic and most of all it's fun. The stages in the game are quite large and sometimes it can be a chore looking for certain items. You can legit go back to it whenever you want and change level if you're feeling fatigued, as well as the fact that some places will be cut off as there's certain abilities you wouldn't have unlocked for the characters. A great way to encourage backtracking, yet still making it rewarding. Cough cough the movie game, but we'll talk about you soon, don't worry. The worlds here are filled to the brim with stuff to do, ensuring you won't get bored. That's just the technical stuff we're talking about on how good this game is. Now let's see this title from the perspective of a SpongeBob fan. Like, you guys don't understand, I used to watch this cartoon day in and day out. Before school on CITV for you UK kids out there, and after school on Nickelodeon. I had like a perfect cartoon watching routine. This game is like the perfect love letter to fans of the franchise. The references and callbacks are everywhere throughout this game, and I guarantee it will make you chuckle, smile and laugh out loud. The last bus and the vending machine gag from the Rock Bottom episode, SpongeBob's dried up face from the Tea of the Treedom episode, the King Jellyfish boss battle from the Squidward episode, the teleportation boxes from the Imagination episode. When you fall off the screen, Hans' hand appears on screen like he did from the Suds episode. Like there's a whole world that's based off the Dreams episode, and this is Patrick's dream.
Patrick, you have a golden spatula. Give it here.
Not so fast, SpongeBob. You'll have to pass my test before you get this golden spatula.
Like, it's perfect. It's a perfect scene. It's a perfect callback. This game is perfect. Like, all the cast come back to deliver that authentic experience, but for some reason, Mr. Krabs didn't. I don't know why they didn't bring Kelsey Brown. It's such a random thing not to have his voice, and it's really, really apparent.
Hoy there, SpongeBob! As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector.
And it really takes you out of the experience, I can't lie. Anyhow, the imagination is fully put into battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, of course, this isn't a perfect game. The camera can be very annoying at points, and being able to look upwards and downwards is basically useless. The knockback can be very annoying, especially in areas with high volume of enemies. It gets extremely overwhelming, and you just keep dying, restarting your last checkpoint. But other than that, I had a blast. Also, going around the community, a lot of people didn't like the Kelp Forest level at all, just because how dark it was. I didn't experience anything like that for me particularly. It wasn't my favorite level, but like, it's as dark or as lit as the Rock Bottom level. Like, I never experienced anything, but like, it's very, very infamous in the community. I don't know why. Also, there were segments where it did get a tad bit frustrating. Besides the knockback, some of the platforming segments did get very, very crazy at certain points, specifically the dream sequences. It became like Super Mario Sunshine level difficulty at some points. And yeah, that was SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. What can I say? Like, this game has become such a cult classic in the past 2 decades, I guess, for SpongeBob fans as well as gamers alike. The speedrunning community pretty much kept it alive, and thanks to that, and well, I guess the constant chatter about it on the internet, we got a remake as well with Rehydrated, and that did very, very well as well. I'm very happy as a fan of the game and the show that a licensed game like this is still prospering. If you have played it, what are your thoughts? Please let me know down below. And with that said, this is YK2K. Please like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Peace.